Hello, my name is Jalen Paulding, and I'm here to talk to you about a growing epidemic, not only in the United States, but also across the world, but I just want to focus on the problem in the United States. So, the epidemic that I'm here to talk to you about today is called the achievement gap. Now, for those of you who don't know what the achievement gap is, the achievement gap refers to the disparity of achievements among different groups of students in schools. These groups of students are classified by socioeconomic status, race, gender, as well as ethnicity. Now, with this gap, we see a large gap between students in higher socioeconomic status than students in lower, and that's where a lot of the problem lies with this reoccurring epidemic. There have been many solutions posed as to how to fix it and how we can reduce the gap. One solution that I like that was mentioned that isn't my favorite is a distribution of better teachers. That is something that I think would be awesome if we can get our great teachers and not only keep them in the same spot, but spread them out to different districts. I think that would be awesome in closing the achievement gap, but at the end of the day, it's just something that isn't ideal in the grand scheme of things, and it would be too hard to accomplish. One thing that I do think would help lower the achievement gap, as talked about in her article, Closing the Achievement Gap by Detracking, Carol Burris touches on a small school district in New York who was able to close the achievement gap in their schools by taking away tracking courses. Now, what tracking courses are, we have low placement classes and high placement classes, and that's tracking what students are good at. And in this article, she talks about how this school district does away with the tracking method and offers the same curriculum to all students no matter what level. I think this is great in closing the achievement gap. What this school district saw was a higher increase of Regency diplomas, which is the highest level of diploma in the state of New York, and they also saw a lot of students taking more interest in schools. A big fear with taking away tracking is that students who don't do well in school will just lose interest and will stop trying. This is actually opposite of what this school district in New York found. And so I think that detracking is a great thing for us to do in our schools. It would start slowly. It's not something that we would do right off the bat in 1 year. We just take away all low track courses. It would be something that we gradually work our students towards, and as well as offer them classes for extra learning time for students who are struggling. And we would also have to monitor students who are still struggling after the non-courses are gone, or after the low-track courses are gone, so that we can make sure that this is still working. This is important to our community because, as a country, when you think about community, everyone's community is included in our country, and we need to make our country as great as we can. And it all starts with the future, and students are the future of this country. And I think that if we close the achievement gap now, our country will be better off in the future. Thank you.